Welcome to Artificial Fluency Podcast. I'm Taylor Mitchell, and I'm absolutely thrilled you've joined me today for what I promise will be a game-changing episode for your English listening skills. Today's episode is titled, Understand Any English Conversation Easily. And that's exactly what we're going to achieve together. Over the next hour, I'll guide you through a comprehensive listening journey that will transform how you process and understand English conversations in the real world. Now, I know many of you struggle with listening comprehension. You might understand textbook English perfectly, but when native speakers talk naturally with their contractions, interruptions, slang, and varying speeds, suddenly everything becomes much more challenging. That's exactly what we're going to fix today. Here's what makes this episode special. We're not just practicing listening. We're developing strategic listening skills that will help you understand any English conversation, whether it's fast-paced workplace discussions, casual social chats, phone calls, or even movies and TV shows. I've structured today's episode into 5 power-packed segments. First, we'll master conversational patterns and natural speech rhythms. Then we'll tackle workplace communications where precision matters. Next, we'll dive into social interactions and small talk. After that, we'll practice handling challenging listening situations like phone calls and group discussions. Finally, we'll put it all together with advanced listening strategies. Remember, listening is a skill that improves with focused practice. By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools and confidence to understand English conversations in any situation. Are you ready to unlock your listening potential? Let's dive in. Let's start with the foundation of great listening skills, understanding natural speech patterns. When native speakers talk casually, we don't speak like textbooks. We use contractions, link words together, and have natural rhythms that can be challenging for learners. But here's the secret. Once you understand these patterns, listening becomes dramatically easier. Let me demonstrate with a conversation between 2 friends making weekend plans. Listen for the natural rhythm, contractions, and connected speech. Hey, Sarah, what are you up to this weekend? I was thinking we could check out that new restaurant downtown. Oh, that sounds great. I've been wanting to try that place. What time were you thinking? I've got a dentist appointment Saturday morning, but I'm free after that. How about Saturday evening around 7? We could grab dinner, maybe catch a movie afterward if you're up for it. Perfect. Should we make a reservation, or do you think we'll be open and just showing up? Probably better to book ahead. I've heard it gets pretty busy on weekends. I'll call them this afternoon and see what's available. Awesome. Thanks for handling that. Text me when you've got it sorted. I'm really looking forward to trying their pasta dishes. I've heard they're incredible. Will do. And yeah, my colleague was raving about their Renner. This is going to be fun. Perfect. Now let's break down what you just heard. Did you notice how different that sounded from textbook English? Let me highlight the key natural speech patterns. Contractions everywhere. What are you up to this weekend instead of what are you up to this weekend? I've been wanting to try that place instead of I have been wanting to try that place. We'll be okay instead of we will be okay. Connected speech. Words flowed together naturally. Check out sounded like check out. Grab dinner became grab dinner. This is called linking, and it's crucial for understanding natural English. Casual vocabulary. Instead of formal language that use conversational phrases like up to, check out, grab dinner, catch a movie, up for it. Natural filler words and natural pauses. Notice how O at the beginning of responses, pretty busy instead of very busy, and natural conversation flow. Reduced pronunciation. Going to became gonna, want to became wanna, implied in the rhythm, even if it's not explicitly said. Here's your first listening strategy. Focus on stressed words. In English, we stress the important words, usually nouns, main verbs, and adjectives. The little words, articles, prepositions, auxiliary verbs, are often reduced or connected. Let me demonstrate. In the sentence, I've been wanting to try that place, the stressed words are been, wanting, try, place. Everything else flows quickly between these stress points. practice technique. When listening to natural English, don't try to catch every single word. Instead, listen for the stressed words that carry the main meaning. Your brain will fill in the gaps naturally with practice. Here are more examples of conceptual speech patterns to listen for. Common contractions: can't, won't, shouldn't, could have, would have, should have, might have, must have. Linking patterns: turn it up sounds like turn it up. Pick it up because pick it up. Let me know flows as let me know. Weak forms: can you becomes can you, for you becomes for you, to be becomes to be. Rhythm practice: English has a musical rhythm. Strong beats fall in stressed syllables with weaker syllables flowing quickly between them. It's like da 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 da. Now, let's practice with a slightly faster conversation. I'll speak naturally, and I want you to focus on catching the main stressed words rather than catching every detail. Excuse me, I'm looking for a gift for my sister for her birthday. She's really into reading, especially mystery novels. Do you have any recommendations? Oh, absolutely. Mystery novels are really popular right now. Or you think of something classic or more contemporary? And if she prefers psychological thrillers or traditional detective stories. I think she likes the psychological stuff better. She likes having some smoothie mind, you know? Perfect. I've got this thing. There's this author who's been getting amazing reviews lately. Her latest book is about a woman who can't remember the last 3 days. She wants to figure out what happened. Really gripping stuff. That sounds exactly like something she'd love. How much is it? It's $12.99, and we've got it in both paperback and hardcover. The hardcover is a bit more expensive, but it's really beautiful if you want something special for a guest. Excellent. Did you catch the main ideas, even with the faster plays? The key strats words told the story. Gift, sister, birthday, reading, mysteries, psychological woman, remember, figure out, love, price. This is the power of strategic listening. You don't need to understand every word to follow conversation perfectly. Now let's tackle workplace listening, where stakes are higher and language is more formal. Workplace conversations often include specific terminology, faster pace, and multiple speakers. The key is developing strategies for professional listening success. Listen to this team meeting where colleagues are discussing a project deadline. Pay attention to how they handle disagreement, make suggestions, and coordinate tasks. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining today's project update. We need to address the timeline for the Johnson campaign. Marketing is saying they need 2 extra weeks, but the client deadline hasn't changed. David, what's your assessment? Well, Sarah, I understand marketing's concerns, but I think we can find a middle ground. If we streamline the approval process and run some tasks in parallel, we might be able to recover most of that time. I appreciate that, David, but my concern is quality. If we rush the creative development, we risk delivering something that doesn't meet our standards. Could we perhaps negotiate with the client for a 1-week extension? That's worth exploring. Has anyone spoken to the client about flexibility on timing? They seemed pretty firm during our last call, but circumstances have changed. I could reach out to their project manager today. We've built good rapport, and if I explain the quality implications, they might be willing to discuss options. That would be great, David. And if they absolutely can't move the deadline, I'm willing to bring in a freelance designer to help accelerate the creative work. It'll increase the budget slightly, but it might be our best option. Okay, here's what I'm hearing. David will contact the client about timeline flexibility. Marketing will prepare a backup plan with additional resources. Let's reconvene Thursday to review their responses and make a final decision. Does that work for everyone? Sounds like a plan. I'll have feedback from the client by Wednesday afternoon. Perfect. I'll get quotes from freelancers and have cost projections ready for Thursday's meeting. Excellent. That conversation demonstrated several crucial workplace listening skills. Let me break down the professional communication patterns. Structured discussion flow. Notice how the team leader opened with the problem, asked for assessments, and closed with action items. Understanding the structure helps you follow professional conversations. Diplomatic language. Instead of direct disagreement, they use phrases like, I understand your concerns, but, and I appreciate that. However, this softens potential conflict. Solution-oriented thinking. Each person didn't just present problems, they offered solutions. David suggested parallel processing, marketing proposed freelance help, professional vocabulary, assessment, streamline, run in parallel, negotiate, flexibility, rapport, accelerate, projections. These terms are common in workplace discussions. Clear action items. The meeting ended with specific tasks, deadlines, and accountability. This is typical of effective workplace communication. Here are key workplace listening strategies. Strategy 1, listen for structure. Most workplace conversations follow patterns. Problem to discussion to solutions to actions. When you recognize the pattern, you can predict what's coming next. Strategy 2, identify decision makers. Pay attention to who asks questions, who gives direction, and who commits to actions. This helps you understand workplace dynamics. Strategy 3, note action language. Words like will, should, need to, must, by when signal important commitments and deadlines. Strategy 4, catch qualification language. Phrases like might, could, perhaps, potentially indicate suggestions rather than firm decisions. Now let's practice with a more challenging workplace scenario, a performance review conversation with multiple topics and emotional undertones. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for preparing for today's review. I've been looking at your performance over the past quarter, and there's definitely some positives to discuss, as well as a few areas where we can focus on development. Thank you, Michael. I'm eager to hear your feedback. I know the Peterson project had some challenges, and I've been reflecting on how I could have handled things differently. I appreciate your self-awareness about Peterson. That shows real maturity. Let's start with the positives. Your client communication has been exceptional this quarter. The feedback from Morrison Industries was outstanding. They specifically mentioned your responsiveness and attention to detail. That's wonderful to hear. Morrison has been such a pleasure to work with. I really tried to anticipate their needs and stay ahead of potential issues. That proactive approach is exactly what sets you apart. Now, regarding Peterson, I think the main challenge was timeline management. The deliverables were high quality, but the delays created stress for the entire team. What's your perspective on what happened there? You're right about the timeline issues. I think I underestimated the complexity of their requirements and didn't communicate early enough when I realized we might face delays. I should have flagged potential problems weeks earlier. That's an excellent analysis. For your development goals this quarter, I'd like to focus on project management and early warning systems. How do you feel about taking on additional project management training? I think that would be incredibly valuable. Are there specific courses or certifications you'd recommend? Perfect! This performance review demonstrated advanced workplace listening challenges. Notice how the conversation balanced positive feedback with constructive criticism and how both parties used diplomatic language to discuss sensitive topics. Key listening points. The manager used sandwich feedback, positive, constructive, positive. The employee showed accountability by acknowledging mistakes, and both focused on future development rather than dwelling on past problems. Advanced workplace listening tip: listen for emotional undertones. Notice uncertainty in the employee's voice, supportive tone from the manager, and how language shifted from nervous to confident as the conversation progressed. Now let's explore social listening skills. Social conversations are more unpredictable than workplace discussions. Topics change quickly, people interrupt each other, and there's often humor, cultural references, and emotional content. The key is developing flexibility and cultural awareness. Listen to this conversation at a house party where friends are catching up. Notice how the topic shifts naturally and how they build on each other's comments. Emma, I'm so glad you made it. How have you been? I feel like it's been ages since we properly caught up. I know, right? Work has been absolutely crazy lately, but I'm so happy to be here. Your place looks amazing. Did you redecorate? Thanks. Yeah, we finally painted the living room. It took forever to choose a color. You know how indecisive James can be. Speaking of work being crazy, how's the new job going? Oh my goodness, it's been such a whirlwind. The people are great, but there's so much to learn. I'm basically drinking from a fire hose every day, but I love the challenge. Did someone say fire hose? Please tell me you're not talking about that disaster of a conference call this morning. Wait, were you on that call too? The one where nobody could figure out how to unmute themselves? Yes! And then when everyone finally got unmuted, we could hear someone's dog barking and what sounded like a blender in the background. I was trying so hard not to laugh. Working from home calls are the best. Last week I had a client meeting where my neighbor decided to start mowing his lawn right outside my window. I had to apologize and move to the bathroom to finish the call. The bathroom? That's hilarious. These work from home stories just keep getting better. Has anyone else noticed how we've all become amateur IT support for our parents since the pandemic started? Oh, don't even get me started. My mom called me yesterday asking why her emails were upside down. Turns out she somehow flipped her entire screen orientation. Fantastic. That conversation showcased the dynamic nature of social interactions. Let me highlight the key social listening skills. Topic fluidity. Notice how the conversation flowed from greeting to home decoration to work to conference calls to work from home to family tech support. This natural shifting is typical of social conversations. Building on comments. Each person picked up something from the previous speaker and added their own experience. Emma mentioned fire hose, friend 3 connected it to the conference call, host shared a similar work from home story. Shared experiences. They bonded over common experiences. Video call disasters, work from home challenges, helping parents with technology. This creates social connection. Humor and storytelling. The conversation included funny anecdotes, exaggeration for effect, like drinking from a fire hose, and shared laughter. Interruption and overlap. Friend 3 joined mid-conversation. People laughed and responded naturally, without formal turn-taking. Essential social listening strategies. Strategy 1, follow the emotional tone. Social conversations are driven by emotion, excitement, frustration, amusement. Understanding the feeling helps you follow the content. Strategy 2, look for connection points. People share stories that relate to what others have said. Listen for phrases like, that reminds me, I had something similar, or, oh my goodness, yes. Strategy 3, understand cultural references. Drinking from a fire hose means being overwhelmed with information. Don't get me started means I have strong feelings about this topic. Strategy 4, expect topic changes. Social conversations rarely stick to one subject. Don't get lost when topics shift, just follow the new direction. Now let's practice with a more challenging social scenario, a conversation with multiple speakers, background noise, and overlapping dialogue. I'll perform all parts, and you can take the active role of listening, paying attention to the diverse perspectives, unpredictable topic changes, and the disruptive background noise. This place is so busy tonight. I can barely hear myself think. Did you guys see the menu yet? I know. It took us 20 minutes just to get a table. But the food smells incredible. What's everyone thinking of ordering? I'm torn between the salmon and the pasta special. The waiter said the salmon is their signature dish, but I had fish yesterday. Go with the pasta. I had the salmon here last month, and honestly, it was just okay. Not worth the price. Really? That's surprising. Everyone raves about this place. Maybe they were having an off night? Good evening, folks. Sorry for the wait. We're absolutely slammed tonight. Have you had a chance to look at the specials? Yes, we were just discussing the salmon. Is it really your signature dish? It absolutely is. The chef sources it fresh daily, and it comes with our house-made herb butter. I definitely recommend it. Though I have to say, tonight's pasta special is also exceptional. It's a lobster ravioli with a truffle cream sauce. Lobster ravioli? That sounds incredible. Is it a large portion? It's quite generous and very rich. Most people find it very satisfying. Can I start you off with drinks while you decide? Excellent practice! That restaurant conversation demonstrated challenging listening conditions: background noise, multiple speakers, interruptions, and competing information. Notice how you had to filter out background noise and focus on the main conversation. This is a crucial, real-world listening skill. Key challenges you successfully navigated are multiple opinions on the same dish, professional versus casual speech, waiter versus customers, background noise and distractions, quick topic changes, menu to experience to recommendations to drinks. Advanced social listening tip. In noisy environments, focus on the speaker closest to you, watch facial expressions and gestures, and don't be afraid to ask for repetition. Native speakers do this too. Now let's tackle the most challenging listening situations: phone calls, group discussions, and conversations with accents or unclear audio. These scenarios test your listening skills because you can't rely on visual cues or perfect audio quality. First, let's practice phone conversations. Without body language and facial expressions, you need to rely entirely on vocal cues and verbal context.
Hello, is this the customer service department? I'm calling about an order I placed last week, and I'm having some issues with the delivery.
Good afternoon, and thank you for calling. I'd be happy to help you with your delivery concern. Could you please provide me with your order number?
Yes, let me find it. It should be, okay, here it is. ACB 77549921. The order was supposed to arrive yesterday, but nothing showed up.
Thank you for that information. Let me pull up your account. I can see your order here. It shows that the package was dispatched on Monday and was expected to arrive yesterday, as you mentioned. Let me check the tracking information. It appears the delivery was attempted yesterday, but no one was available to receive it.
That's strange. I was home all day yesterday. I work from home, so I'm always here. Are you sure they came to the right address?
That is unusual. Let me verify the delivery address we have on file. I show 42 Maple Street, apartment 3B, correct?
No, that's not right. I live at 42 Maple Avenue, not street, and it's apartment 3A, not 3B. That explains why I didn't receive it.
I sincerely apologize for that error. It looks like there was a mistake in our system when the address was entered. I can correct this immediately and arrange for redelivery. Would tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. work for you?
That would be perfect. And just to confirm, you've changed it to 42 Maple Avenue, apartment 3A.
Absolutely. I've updated your address to 42 Maple Avenue, apartment 3A, and I'm scheduling the redelivery for tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. You should receive a confirmation email within the next hour. Perfect. Phone conversations require different listening strategies because you can't see the speaker. Did you notice how both people used verbal confirmation techniques? Phone listening strategies. Strategy 1. Listen for spelling and numbers carefully. The caller spelled out the order number slowly, and they verified the address details precisely. Strategy 2. Expect repetition and confirmation. Phone conversations naturally include more repetition because people can't use gestures or facial expressions. Strategy 3, focus on tone for emotion. The caller's frustration came through in their voice, and the customer service rep's apologetic tone conveyed genuine concern. Strategy 4, ask for clarification freely. Phone conversations make clarification requests normal and expected. Now let's practice group discussions, one of the most challenging listening situations because multiple people speak, interrupt each other, and build on various ideas simultaneously. Okay, everyone, let's start today's book club discussion. We're talking about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. What did everyone think overall? I absolutely loved it. I couldn't put it down. The way the author revealed Evelyn's secrets gradually was brilliant. Yes, and the twist at the end, I never saw that coming. Though I have to say, some of the Hollywood details felt a bit over the top. Really? I thought the Hollywood setting was one of the strengths. It felt authentic to me, like the author really understood that world. I agree with Sarah. And can we talk about Evelyn's character development? She was so complex, sometimes likable, sometimes frustrating. That's exactly what I was thinking. She made some terrible choices, but you could understand why. The pressure she was under, especially as a woman in that era. And the theme of sacrificing personal happiness for career success, that felt very relevant to today, didn't it? Those are great points. Let's focus on that theme for a moment. Did anyone else notice how the author used Evelyn's relationships to explore different types of love? Oh, absolutely. Romantic love, friendship, family love, but also love of craft and ambition. Each relationship taught us something different about Evelyn. Excellent group discussion practice. Notice how challenging it was to track multiple speakers, competing ideas, and overlapping themes simultaneously. This mirrors real-world group conversations. Group discussion listening strategies. Strategy 1. Identify voices quickly. In the beginning, try to match voices with speakers so you can follow who's saying what. Strategy 2. Follow themes, not just individual comments. The discussion moved through overall impression, plot details, character development, themes, relationships. Strategy 3. Notice agreement and disagreement patterns. Listen for yes and, building agreement, versus really, I thought, gentle disagreement. Strategy 4, accept that you might miss details. In group discussions, focus on main points rather than trying to catch every word from every speaker. Advanced tip, group discussions often have a natural rhythm, periods of individual sharing followed by building discussions. Understanding this rhythm helps you follow the flow. For our final segment, let's put everything together with advanced listening strategies that will help you understand any English conversation, no matter how challenging. These strategies go beyond just understanding words. They're about developing intuitive listening skills that work in any situation. Strategy 1, predictive listening. Use context to predict what might come next. If someone says, I have good news and bad news, you know the structure of what follows. Strategy 2, selective attention. In complex listening situations, focus on what's most important for your purposes. You don't need to understand everything. Strategy 3, cultural pattern recognition. Different types of conversations follow cultural patterns. Small talk, business meetings, complaints, celebrations, each have predictable elements. Strategy 4, emotional intelligence listening. Pay attention to emotion and tone, not just words. This gives you crucial context for understanding meaning. Strategy 5, recovery techniques. When you get lost, use specific phrases and strategies to get back on track without embarrassment. Let me demonstrate these strategies with a complex conversation that combines multiple challenges. Taylor as customer, frustrated, speaking quickly. Look, I've been trying to resolve this billing issue for 3 weeks now, and every time I call, I get a different story. First, someone told me the charge was legitimate, then another person said it was an error, and now you're telling me something completely different. Taylor as representative, calm, professional, working to de-escalate. I completely understand your frustration, and I sincerely apologize for the confusion you have experienced. Let me take a fresh look at your account and see if I can provide you with a clear, definitive answer today. Taylor as customer. Slightly calming, but still upset. I appreciate that, but I've heard similar promises before. What I need is someone who can actually fix this, not just apologize for it. Taylor as representative, you're absolutely right to expect a resolution, not just apologies. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to escalate this to our billing specialist team immediately, and I'm going to stay on this case personally until it's resolved. Can you give me your direct phone number so I can call you back today with an update? Notice how I used advanced listening strategies. Predictive listening. When the customer mentioned 3 weeks and different story, I predicted this would be a complaint about inconsistent service. Emotional intelligence. The customer's frustration was clear in their tone and pace. The representative responded to the emotion, not just the facts. Pattern recognition. This followed a classic complaint resolution pattern: problem statement, acknowledgement, action plan, commitment. Your listening homework. This week, practice these strategies in real conversations. Start with easier situations and gradually work up to more challenging ones. Final confidence building tip. Remember that even native speakers don't catch every word in fast-paced or noisy conversations. The goal is effective communication, not perfect comprehension. What an incredible journey we have taken together today. We've covered everything from natural speech patterns to workplace communications, from social conversations to challenging listening situations, and finally, to advanced strategic listening. Remember, listening mastery isn't about understanding every single word. It's about developing the skills and confidence to understand any conversation's essential meaning and participate effectively. Your key takeaways from today. Focus on stressed words and main ideas, not every detail. Use context and patterns to predict and understand. Adapt your listening strategy to different situations. Pay attention to emotion and tone, not just words. Practice regularly with increasingly challenging content. This week, I challenge you to apply these techniques in real situations. Start conversations with confidence, knowing you have the tools to understand and participate effectively. Thank you for spending this hour with me developing your listening superpowers. I'm Taylor Mitchell, and I believe in your ability to understand any English conversation easily. Keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, you're much more capable than you think.
Welcome to English Listening Practice. I'm Taylor Mitchell, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you join me today for what I promise will be an exciting journey toward confident English understanding. Today's episode is specifically designed for B1 and B2 learners who want to bridge that gap between understanding textbook English and comprehending real-world conversations. We're going to tackle the kind of listening challenges you face every day, from workplace meetings to phone calls, from social gatherings to problem-solving situations. What makes today's episode special is that we're focusing on natural speech patterns. You know, the way people actually speak in real life, with interruptions, filler words, overlapping conversations, and varying speeds. This is the kind of listening practice that will truly unlock your confidence. Here's how we'll structure our hour together. We'll explore 5 different listening scenarios, each designed to challenge specific aspects of your comprehension skills. I'll guide you through workplace meetings, phone conversations, social interactions, customer service situations, and casual storytelling. Each segment includes pre-listening preparation, the actual listening challenge, comprehension questions, and detailed vocabulary explanations. I encourage you to have a notebook ready and don't hesitate to pause and replay sections. That's how we learn. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even if you only catch 70% of what you hear, that's fantastic. Native speakers miss details too, and the key is understanding enough to participate meaningfully in conversations. Are you ready to unlock your confident English understanding? Let's dive in. Our first listening challenge takes us into a workplace meeting. You'll hear a project planning session with multiple speakers discussing timelines, responsibilities, and potential challenges. This is excellent practice for understanding overlapping conversations and workplace vocabulary. Before we listen, let me prepare you for what to expect. You'll hear 4 colleagues: Maria, project manager; David, designer; Sarah, marketing specialist; and Kevin, developer. They're planning a new mobile app launch. Listen for